Uranium Energy Corp, one of only 12 uranium producers in the world. UEC trades on the New York Stock Exchange. They have more than doubled their in-ground uranium resource over the past 2 years. They've also become one of only 6 uranium producers in the United States. Led by Amir Adnani, who has been ranked as one of the top resource CEOs by Casey Research, Amir has attracted major investors like Rick Rule of Sprott Asset Management, Li Ka-shing, the richest man in Asia, and institutions such as Vanguard and BlackRock. Learn more about Uranium Energy Corp at uraniumenergy.com or by calling 866-748-1030. Greetings, thank you for joining us at FutureMoneyTrends.com. I'm here with Rick Rule of Sprott Asset Management. He's a legendary investor. Rick, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure, thank you.
Rick, this time last year at this show, I asked you about water. And you said it was the best question of the day, which made me feel pretty good because it was the end of the day. And I was kind of thinking of like Asia, and then you were like, no, Southern California, that's what's going to happen. Here we are, we're in the largest or the biggest drought ever on record. What is going on with since the last year as far as the drought? Are you investing in companies that are providing solutions, and what kind of solutions and what kind of money is there to be made from the drought?
I've been investing in water for 25 years, which would appear to be what it takes for me to be right. I say that jokingly. Investing in water has paid a lot of rent for me over the last 2 decades. But I think we're to the point now where we call the question. Water hasn't been priced by markets. It's been priced politically, which is a different way of saying it's been mispriced.
Yeah.
We say in water that free market physics doesn't work. Water flows downhill to votes rather than uphill to money. And we're seeing the effects of that in California now. Probably before you were born, 1977 was the last time we had a drought in California. Wow. And that caused enormous economic dislocation. It caused dislocation with 12 million fewer people living in California. There were 12 million fewer straws in the sponge. And in 1977, we were able to take excess flows out of the Colorado River because nobody lived in competing places like Phoenix or Las Vegas. But that party's over. We're going to have a reckoning in California if we don't have substantially above average rainfall between right now, early February, and April. We have 2 months left to avert what will be a very, very, very interesting set of circumstances.
You know, it's weird. I live in California, and I haven't heard anyone talk about like turning off, stop watering your grass or anything like this. I mean, is that what you think is coming? Because likely it's not going to rain. We're not entering our rainy season, so it's pretty much behind us now.
2 answers to that question. The first is that the realization of the crisis has occurred comes when you turn the tap and nothing comes out of it.
Yeah.
The second thing is that water is irrationally cheap, so customers are happy. It takes you perhaps a penny to flush your toilet. Now, you're a young guy, you probably have one of those conservation low flush toilets, so you have to flush it twice. So it's two flushes. What would you pay to make that material go away?
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is, but it's more than a penny.
Yeah.
When you look at what it costs you to keep your lawn green, your landscaping in good shape, your teeth brushed, relative to what it costs to deliver that water in the first instance, but much more importantly, relative to the utility that water generates to you, water is pathetically cheap. So everybody is thrilled with the status quo, and they will be thrilled until their lawns die and their landscaping wilts, which if we don't have a good rain in the next 3 months is precisely what's going to happen. Water has been allocated politically, as I say, in California. Those viewers of yours who watch the movie Chinatown will know the history of water. Los Angeles went up and fair and square bought all the water in the Owens Valley and diverted it from agricultural uses to urban uses. The farmers in California who controlled the legislators 100 years ago said, we don't want to compete with city users. We want to steal the water.
Yeah.
They've done a great job. California agriculture contributes 3.5% to the state's GDP, and they use 85% of the water.
Wow.
There's a political arbitrage in water where water is worth $45 an acre foot to grow rice in the desert and $1,200 an acre foot to flush toilets and brush teeth. When that arbitrage ends politically, and it will when the urban users don't have water, the money that will be made selling water from agricultural uses to urban uses will be incredible.
So is that the kind of companies you're buying? Is it in the agriculture sector or?
Yeah, pardon my pun, but we've bought the waterfront. We have principally bought the agricultural companies who own water that we hope will be able to be redeeded. We have already also, for 25 years, bought physical water rights. In Sprott, we have been negotiating now for 3 months and are about to buy the best U.S.-based water investment management company on the scene, a private water investment, which we've been working on for a long time. But there's a whole bunch of ways that people can play the game. Because I'm a resource guy, I haven't bought the filtration companies, the utility companies, the distribution companies, the process companies, because I believe them to be service and supply businesses that I'm less good at.
Yeah.
I have tried to focus myself on owning water as a resource, the same way an oil company would own oil and gas.
Yeah. Do you foresee if rain doesn't happen, actually water wouldn't come out of a faucet? I mean, that just seems
Absolutely.
like impossible.
Absolutely. You'll remember, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago when we had a power crisis in California.
Yeah.
The legislatures in their genius decontrolled what
That
utilities...
was 14 years ago, by the way.
Was it
now.
14 years
Look at
ago?
your
Okay.
message.
See?
That was 2000, Gray Davis.
You lose your mind over time. We were able to deal with that shortage because you can transmit electricity easily. We called up the Canadians, said, we're out of electricity. Send us some right now. We'll pay you any price. The Canadians sent us the power. The lights went back on. And then we stiffed them. We decided not to pay because they were price gouging.
Yeah.
The point is that when water runs out, there is no infrastructure to get water here. When it runs out, it runs out. There is no more. There simply is no more. Drive around any reservoir in the state that you want to. These reservoirs are 20% of normal, 25% of normal, and we're in the winter.
Yeah.
Look at the snowpack in the Sierras. What you'll notice is there isn't one. The snowpack is less than 40% of normal. But our consumption is not going down. If you consume something that runs out, the result is simply that, and it's not pretty.
So as far as the cities, is it the whole state of California, Nevada, Arizona that are at risk right now? Because, I mean, I went to the Hoover Dam probably a year, 2 years ago. I was shocked at, you could see where the water was. It was dramatically lower.
Those are two different questions. The Colorado River Compact has, I think, 7 states involved. And there's one state that substantially exceeds its maximum draw. That state's California. Nevada, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, those states are living within their water budget. But California isn't. So California will run out of allotment at precisely the wrong time for the state of California. The problem that we have in California with regards to water distribution could be solved. It could be solved by fallowing half the farmland in the state of California. That would work. Politically, that's going to be a very, very, very difficult challenge for us.
Yeah.
The farm workers, who are certainly a disadvantaged population, would become much more disadvantaged. And California farmers, who have contributed a lot to the California economy in the last 100 years, would certainly be disadvantaged. But the easiest way to deal with the problem is to let the market work. If you took $45 farm water and made it $400 farm water, you wouldn't have a water supply problem anymore.
Yeah.
You'd have a political squawk, to be sure.
Yeah. Let's move to the junior resource space. We're at the Cambridge House Investment Conference. The juniors have been doing great this year. I mean, some of the good juniors, at least I would call them good juniors, they're up 50% in the last month. Is this what a bottom looks like?
Well, we talked, I don't know if you remember this, but the last time you interviewed me, we talked about specifically this. And I said that I thought that we were in a market bifurcation period, where the